Focus on the commodity space right now. First with the dollar index, that's a talking point because that is steadily inching up right now. It was up about 0.3% at one point in time, so it's cooled off a little bit, facing some supply near that 78 level, but nonetheless it's clawed back pretty smartly over the past couple of weeks from 74 to the 78 level. For commodities, zinc has done relatively well, up about 1%. You're seeing nickel see 1.3% gains. There's underlying steam demand supporting that, but nonetheless the bounce back in the dollar index has not augured that well for base metals and crude, which actually rallied in Friday's trading session on account of those Iran-Iraq tensions. But generally, if you had to sum up commodities, pretty similar to equities at this point in time. Low volumes, high on volatility, low on direction. But who better to answer these questions than T. Gnanashekar? He is the director of Commtrendz Research and Fund Management. Mr. Gnanashekar, thanks a lot for joining us. What's the prognosis now with the dollar bouncing back significantly? Are we in for a period of profit booking in commodities, or is it still directionless for most of the industrials to start off with?
Essentially, the market is still directionless. I think the investors who sold the currency for most of 2009 have started kind of buying it back because of the year end. So that's going to definitely cap the upside for most of the commodities right now. And downward bias is clearly visible. At the same time, I think markets, because of thin volume, there is really no direction either way. So it's going to be stuck, and probably in low volumes could kind of take a dip in the coming days.
Do you see some steel-related plays like nickel outperforming?
Yeah, see, essentially nickel has been underperforming completely the whole of this year. So I'm not surprised to see it kind of catching up to some extent because of some fundamental news as well. But again, it's going to be capped. I don't see any kind of a runaway kind of a move happening in nickel. Very soon we'll see some profit taking there as well.
Do you see a big sell-off in any of the other base metals, maybe an aluminium or zinc, and even in terms of crude oil? Are we in for a 5 to 10% odd sell-off, or is that exaggerating it and you sense that maybe just a couple of percentage worth of profit booking and then fresh positions in the new year?
As far as base metals are concerned, I think copper is something which is vulnerable for a fall, but the kind of fall which might take place is again debatable. My own sense is 5 to 10% from current levels. Technically looking extremely vulnerable for a fall, but crude certainly fundamentals don't support with geopolitical tensions and also the weather in favor of crude. I think it's cold weather in most of US. So I don't think crude is going to fall much. Might kind of find support at different levels, but certainly copper is something which I'm looking for on the downside.
What's the prognosis on gold right now? Because that's been one commodity that's actually been trading on very high volumes, has got a huge open interest build up, and pretty volatile also.
See, the momentum of gold is not so strong at this point in time, and that kind of underscores a subdued buying appetite among funds and investors who have been buying it to diversify portfolios. So I think it's going to remain range bound again for the next couple of weeks. Can't see a major action in gold as well. Stuck between 1150 and 1100. That's going to be a very broad range.
You have a call on edible oils as well?
Well, edible oils again, the market has risen quite sharply because of fundamental reasons. We'll be looking for that market to kind of consolidate and then move up. So we look at the MCX CPO to find supports at 347.48. We expect it to rise the active December contract and would possibly test 360 in the coming weeks.
T. Gnanashekar, thanks a lot for joining us with that perspective on the commodity space.